Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here, and this is the Prologue, a weekly series of videos wherein I keep track of my activities, document my stats, and complete quests for the sake of progressing towards my ultimate goal of breaking down the barriers between dreams and reality. My quest for the past 2 weeks has been System Reboot, wherein I task myself with adjusting my schedule and trying to change things up so I could better suit the current workload that's been added onto my life by the addition of my summer course load for university. How are things going? Well, pretty well, I'd say. Overall, I've managed to stick with it, and I managed to get the confirmation I was looking for out of the quest in this second week. It could have been called complete last week, but I decided to hold it off one more week just to make sure things stuck. So, we have one more week, everybody, and I'm glad to say it, but the quest System Reboot for the weeks of June 24th through July 7th of the year 2018 is complete! On a side note, everyone, I do want to make note that I'm going to be making an amendment to the side quest I established last week, 2 per week. In that quest, I said that I would be trying to lose 2 pounds off of my average weight, and mistakenly assumed that that meant that all I really needed to do was lose 2 pounds overall on a weekly basis. However, once I actually sat down and did the math, I kind of realized that the actual necessary weight to lose at a bare minimum would be a lot closer to 4 pounds, if I'm being honest, just because the actual deltas between the peak and the bottom that would be created by naturally losing weight slowly and steadily over the course of a week doesn't actually result in a simple 2-pound loss. This means that I would have to lose around 4 pounds at a minimum consistently for several weeks in order to achieve the effect I'm looking for. Therefore, everyone, just out of consideration for the actual intent I had of behind the quest, I'm going to be changing the actual metric for the side quest from 2 pounds off the average weight to 2 pounds off of the Saturday weight for every single week. So yeah, everybody, just making that small amendment. The quest will continue onward now as the new rules specify. Sorry about the mistake. I hope we don't make more mistakes like that in the future, because I don't want to encourage people to do something that could be potentially dangerous to their health. If you're going to go on a diet or make any significant changes to your health, everybody, I definitely recommend consulting a health professional, whether that be your doctor, a nutritionist, or someone else of that like, to help you make an informed decision. I am an idiot. Don't follow my example there. With that, everyone, it's time for me to set my next quest. The quest for the week of July 8th through July 14th will be VR locomotion. Yeah, everybody, I've had the intent to create a video on the subject matter of VR locomotion for a while now and have actually completed the script, but I just haven't managed to get myself around to just recording it and properly finishing it as I should. So, you know what that means. Time to make it a quest to kind of force myself to really get it down and done just so we can get things moving forward. I also had a few other ideas in mind for the quest, but I think that this is a very valuable first step, since the formatting that I'm going to be taking for this video might very well end up changing a few things that are going to be happening down the line on this channel. And the VR locomotion video will be a test run of sorts of some of the ideas I'm playing around with at this moment in time. I hope you'll look forward to it. Well then, everyone, that just about does it for me, but you guys also had a quest to be completing this past week, and that quest was Trending Genre. This quest called for you guys to provide the names of 3 games currently within a genre that is very popular at this moment in time, as well as 3 upcoming games that will be releasing, and to name the genre itself. For those of you that don't know, the genre was the Battle Royale genre, or mode, or however you want to call it, because really it could be considered one of both. Technically, most of the games are shooters at this point in time, but I can imagine a Battle Royale melee game and stuff like that, so yeah, there's a lot of variety that could be possible within this genre, and either way, we had one player successfully complete the quest within the time period allotted, first before everyone else. Congratulations to adventurer Domo Tido for their completion of the quest first before everyone else. In addition to your shout out at this point in the video, you will also be receiving the reward of a sketch of the character of your choosing. You selected the character Rei Kiriyama from Swangatsu no Ryan, or March Comes In Like a Lion. This was a very interesting choice since I did mention that I would be doing the sketch in the style of GGO. So I was kind of fascinated because the character isn't really what you would consider the kind of soldier type. And it was very interesting for me just because I had to try to figure out how I wanted to present him inside of the sketch. I had a few ideas running through my mind that kind of painted him in a more scraggly light, but I also kind of realized that a few of those ideas would be tricky to execute on in a sketch, so I wound up going for something a little simple, if you don't mind. So let's have that drawing appear right now. It was pretty tricky to figure out how I wanted to draw Ray in this case, just because it's kind of hard to clearly capture his design without really trying to emulate the style of the artist. But in the end, I decided to go with something a little bit more military with him, and the best way I could think of to do that, just because his design overall by himself just does not give off that very combative style or anything like that, and I didn't want to diverge too much just because it's a video game, so I just made him a little bit bulkier and gave him a bit of military gear. So yeah, I gave him a Type 88 helmet as well as a Ranger vest or combat Kevlar, whatever you want to call those things. I'm not too sure of the particulars, but they always look cool whenever I see them. In order to give him a bit more body protection, in terms of the design for his handgun, I gave him a USP H&K, just to keep on going along with the idea of him being a special forces inside of the game. Even though, if we're being honest, most special forces don't actually have people that require glasses. If we go off of what's actually necessary for most special forces, it seems that you kind of need to have 20/20 vision, but since this is GGO, you don't actually have to follow through on that. And I kind of lament not drawing in the sniper rifle because I was thinking along those lines, but it's just one of those things that just wound up being an omission that I'm gonna probably end up doing in another later time. But thank you very much for suggesting the character. I would have never done this myself in a million years if it hadn't been suggested to me by you, so yeah, it was an interesting experience, and I hope you like the sketch. It's worth noting, everybody, that any future sketches that I do will eventually be uploaded to DeviantArt at the link that I'll be providing in the description going forward. So yeah, everybody, if you have an interest in the sketches that are created for this series, just have a quick look down there. They aren't currently uploaded at the time of this video's creation and release, but they should hopefully be up there at a certain point. Once again, Domotito, congratulations on clearing the quest. With that, everyone, it's time to move on for your next quest for the week of July 8th through to July 14th. The second coming of VR. During E3 of 2012, John Carmack, a legendary programmer for the company id Software, had created a virtual reality demo using the prototype hardware of what would later become the Oculus Rift. In order to demonstrate, though, he used a modified version of a game he'd previously worked on. Your quest will call for you to provide the name of that game, as well as the year of release for the original version of the game. The reward for this quest will be a sketch of the character of your choosing beginning to put on an Oculus Rift DK1, the one that was based on the Nexus 7 tablet display, which was gigantic and almost looked like you had a bit of a pyramid-looking thing on your face. Well then, everyone, that just about does it. Best of luck, my fellow adventurers and dreamers. Till next time, this has been Gregory, logging out.